Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. Claire and Victoria are greeted by Jack and Diane at Society. They review the ordeal with Ian, Ward and Jordan. Claire is merely relieved that her grandfather is in good health. Jack is also pleased, although it provided him with the chance to envision a future without Victor. Jack is castigated by Victoria for uttering such a statement. Diane clarifies that they have not forgotten Victor's actions, which resulted in their son's bitterness toward them. Additionally, Victor has directed his animosity toward Billy, including pulling the rug out from under him at Chancellor. Victoria says that was Jill's doing. Jack comprehends Victoria's obligation to defend her father. However, he is certain that the day will come when she will be unable to uphold the indefensible position. What will be her reaction when he begins to control and manipulate Claire's life? Jack advises Claire to keep her defense up where Victor's concerned. Diane says they know he's displeased she's involved with Kyle. Her mother comprehends that experience more than any other individual. They walk off and Claire asks Victoria about her grandfather coming between her and someone she cared about. Victoria sighs and says she'll have to tell her about her dad having her detained on her wedding day. Victor admits to Nick. At the ranch, Victor denies to Nick that he was attempting to push Summer to get back together with Kyle. If they're spending time together as a family, why would he discourage that? They agree they want Summer to be happy, but Nick guesses he's hopeful that if Summer and Kyle get closer, it will drive a wedge between him and Claire. Victor acknowledges it. He's learned things about him that have confirmed his worst concerns. He's an abbot. Nick groans. So this is about Jack. He can't comprehend why Kyle isn't good enough for Claire. Victor says he isn't. Nick says, then why on earth is he good enough for Summer? Nick YNR. Victor contends that's different, there's a child involved. That's a commitment for life, and they're profoundly connected. He told Chelsea and Adam the same thing. Nick assumes he's trying to impose his will on them too. Victor denies it. End of tale. He's made no secret of his intentions and will protect his family at all costs. Nick observes he took a bullet for them, so he can't argue that. But it always has to be on his terms, that he knows what's best for them. Victor exclaims that he's old-fashioned and believes children's parents belong together. Nick contends he doesn't feel that way about Victoria and Billy, nor does he want him back with Sharon or Phyllis. Victor snorts that he wouldn't heed to him anyway. Nick loves him, but this is Summer's life. Victor would be all for it if she went back with Kyle, but Claire is an innocent girl. He doesn't want her to fall in love with that Abbott imbecile. Not gonna happen. Harrison misses family time. Summer arrives at the Abbott mansion, where Harrison enthuses that this is going to be the greatest night ever. He's thrilled that his parents have consented to another family night, just like Halloween. Maybe you'll even hug again. Summer and Kyle exchange an awkward gaze. Harrison Summer Kyle YNR. The boy explains it made him very pleased. Summer delicately reminds him they're not together anymore. Kyle adds they're not getting back together. Harrison knows that, but he lacks that. Kyle assured him they're still a family. Summer dislikes that he felt for even a second that they weren't. They embrace. Harrison Summer embrace YNR. Over pizza, Summer, Kyle and Harrison work on the Abbott dining room diorama. Harrison has made cardboard family members, and Jax has a big cranium, because he's the head of the family. Summer thinks his diorama will be the finest in the class. All Harrison cares about is them being together again with no more bickering. Damien learns the truth. At Nate's residence, he asks Amy if she's up for this. She says it doesn't matter. Her son will be here any minute. Nate wishes to know why he had an employee pretend to be him. Amy worries he's involved in something unlawful. Nate reminds her they have no proof he's done anything wrong. Let's focus on the task at hand. Amy hopes Damien will listen to all she's got to say. A knock arrives at the door. Nate says they're about to find out. Amy nods and he walks over and opens the door. Amy peers at her son. Amy Nate YNR. Damien walks inside. Amy makes a move toward him, but Damien flinches and backs up. She says it's pleasant to see him. It's been too long. Talk turns to Nate, and Amy says she asked him to locate him so they could talk. Damien reminds her he severed all ties with her, and his past with no intentions of looking back. He backs up when she approaches him again. Damien says he's pleased with his life and suggests she find a way to be happy with hers. Amy blurts that she doesn't have much life left. Damien, I'm sick. I'm dying. Amy, Nate, Damien, YNR. Damien wishes to know if this is another trick. Nate's indignant and assures him it's not another manipulation. Amy says, I have leukemia, son. She may have a few months left if she's fortunate. Damien says, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting this. It brings him back to when they lost his dad. He hasn't thought about that in a while. It's all a haze. He didn't come to take a stroll down memory lane and informs his mother. Thanks for the heads up. He moves to exit. Nate stops him and reminds him the mother gave birth to him. Amy says there's more. She wishes him to have the whole truth before she leaves this world. Jackson was a wonderful man, but he wasn't your biological father. Damien, astonished, asks, what? Amy, Nate, Damien, YNR. At Society, Jack tells Diane he regrets talking to Claire about Victor. Diane points out she's the one who told her he doesn't want her with Kyle. Jack wishes to change the subject. Diane suggests they transition to a topic closer to home. Jack says if she means redecorating the home, he may need a couple more drinks. Across the room, Victoria tells Claire she was madly in love with Billy, and her parents wanted to stop them from getting married. They got married anyway, but afterward, she got detained for bribing a foreign dignitary. Of course I wasn't guilty. She and Billy managed to say their I dose, but afterward she was taken away in shackles. Claire observes that until recently, he also wasn't happy about her mother seeing Cole. Victoria doesn't want to rehash all the times he interfered in her life. If Claire wants a life with Kyle, so be it. Claire admits she desires to be with him all the time. Victoria adores seeing her happy and full of romance. Claire's countenance falls. Victoria asks what's wrong. Are you afraid Kyle doesn't feel the same way? Claire informs Victoria that her grandfather made a remark about Kyle and Summer sharing a decades-long connection. They also share a son. Victoria says they're divorced and have moved on. Claire can't help but fret. She admits Kyle canceled on her tonight to spend time with Summer, helping Harrison on a school assignment. Victoria thinks it implies Kyle's a good father. Claire says, Grandpa thinks he's going to break my heart. Victoria suggests she listen to her emotions and not her grandfather. At the Abbott mansion, Harrison, Kyle, and Summer happily work together to construct the Abbott family diorama. Kyle and Summer beam across the table at each other. Damien is told Nate's his brother. At Nate's residence, Amy implores Damien to believe what she's telling him. Damien argues that Jackson would have told him. Amy says he didn't know either. Damien rants that maybe the chemo's affecting her brain. She's not thinking clearly. He begins hollering and Nate intervenes. Damien says it was an error coming there and seeing her. This isn't real. Amy cries that he walked in her and wouldn't look at her, because he knew she wounded him, and he hurt her. But he knows she's telling him the truth. Damien queries why she's telling him now. Amy doesn't want him to be alone when she's gone. You have family. Damien asks if she intends to connect him to this real father. Amy says he's departed too. His name was Nathan Hastings. Damien frowns. Wait. Hastings? He looks at Nate. Amy sobs. Nate is your half-brother. Amy, Damien, YNR. Damien exclaims. Is this some kind of scam? You're sick and this man comes to you with this big lie to take advantage of you. Nate says he was just as skeptical as he was and calls him bro. Damien tells him not to call him that and asks his mother why she's ambushing him with this. Amy cries that she doesn't have much time. And this good man is your half-brother. Damien informs them that they don't have to fret about him. He has a great existence and doesn't need family messing it up. Nate informs him they know about Monte Cristo investments and that he controls the whole show. Damien shrugs. I do all right. Amy would like to know more about it. Nate says they both would. Like how you're able to do so well in such a short amount of time. Damien, YNR. Victoria puts Victor on notice. At the ranch, Nick tells his father that Claire may be the one to break Kyle's heart. Or maybe they'll overcome the odds and make it together. They get to write their own story. Victor protests that Claire is doing so well at Chancellor ascending the corporate ladder. She doesn't want her squandering her time in a silly romance with a loser. He wishes Claire to shine as brightly as Summer has. What's wrong with that? Victoria arrives and greets Victor. She tells him and Nick she just had a heart-to-heart with Claire. She won't allow her father to frighten her out of her relationship with Claire. Victor contemplates. I'll be damned. Oh really? Victoria won't let him to do her daughter what he's attempted to do to her so many times. Victor hollers that he won't apologize for desiring what's best for his family. I'm in a lot of pain. I don't want to dispute about this nonsense about the Abbotts and all that crap. With that, he hoists himself out of the chair and exits the room. Victoria asks her brother how it's possible to adore her father and want to strangle him at the same time. At the Abbott mansion, Harrison wishes to add a dog to the diorama. They all jest around and then turn serious. Kyle lets the child know if he wants them to spend time together, all he has to do is ask. Harrison wants a photo taken of the completed diorama. Summer asks if they should send it to his elders. He asks for it to be sent to Claire first. Summer's visage falls. After receiving the photo, Claire calls and Kyle places her on speaker. She informs Harrison his artwork looks like it belongs in a museum. Summer makes an expression. Claire tells the child he's made a masterpiece. Harrison crows that Mommy and Daddy assisted. I wish you could have been here. Then it would have been perfect. Summer throws back the remainder of her wine. At society. Diane tells Jack she's begun working on the plans for the house. Jack seems anxious about the refresh. She tells him to relax, this will be enjoyable. Jack knows she spoke to Tracy, who asked him to let go and move on. He knows it will be stunning, but it's hard to let go of the elements in the house that make him feel his father and mother are still there. Diane promises to be respectful. Damien rejects Amy. At Nate's place, Damien is still attempting to process the fact that Amy lied to him and his father his whole life. He asks how long Nate's known. Nate says not very long, but once he got to know her, he knew he had to help. He asks why Damien's so furious with his mother. What could she possibly have done? Damien tells him he'll have to save his inquiries for another time. Right now, I'm the one who needs answers. Amy implores him to settle down and talk. Give us a chance. Damien exclaims, why? You believe because you tell me he's family, I'm suddenly going to feel something for him. He informs Nate. Even if we are blood, we grew up not even knowing the other existed. He can't speak for his bro, but he was much better off before his mother told him this purported truth. Damien questions his mother if her diagnosis is confirmed. Did you get a second opinion? Amy agrees, I did. Damien knows Nate was a doctor. Nate muses that he did his research. He says he knows some really excellent oncologists and will reach out. Damien believes his mother is in good hands. I'm really sorry about what you're dealing with, I am. But I can't go back. I can't be there for you the way you would like me to. I can't witness another parent slip away. Jackson was the only father he ever had, and he's okay with that. He tells Nate he's not seeking for family. They're squandering their time. With that he walks out. Amy collapses onto the settee in tears. I just told my only son that I was dying, and he didn't even care. Nate believes he's in shock and needs time to process it. Amy laments, I don't have the time. I don't have time. Nate will track him down and speak to him. One way or another, I'll get through to my brother.